Hello and welcome to the Clock and Talk, an Arsenal podcast. I'm your host, Tez. You can get me at Guna Tez. You can get the podcast, and Tony handles that Twitter account at the Clock and Talk. Sometimes I chime in, but I usually leave it up to Tony, who's flogging off tickets. So, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, season ticket for rent for the season. North Bank Lure, if anyone's interested. Face value.
£800. Is that the normal going or what?
So it's because where it is in the stadium, I think it's the cheapest area in the stadium. So that's the price that Arsenal charge. And I think that's the cheapest seat in the stadium. I might be wrong on that. There may be somewhere slightly cheaper, but I'm not sure.
Cheaper, is it? Just quickly on that, is it? It's everything's cheaper than last season. Obviously, no, different comps and less games and things like that.
Yeah, so the way season tickets work is you just pay the face value for all the games, but you just play them up front to secure your ticket, obviously. So you don't get any discount for paying for the season up front. So whatever games there is, so because this season we have less games, there's just less games included. So then obviously there's less money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let's get into this. Those listening before today's show, you will have been hearing us talking about the Euros. I'm going to touch quickly on that, just wrap that up. Italy, wow. Congratulations and condolences to the English team. I thought throughout the comp, England were a better team, and where I say that is Italy, for me, they started off well, but then it was a little bit of are the wheels going to fall off kind of thing. So it was a good game. Went out to penalty shootouts. Everyone's watched it now. So very unlucky, Tony. However, I'm going to just say very unlucky for Saka, Rashford. I am an Arsenal fan. And Sancho. Like it's, and what I've seen come out of that game, more so from the media, not fans. It just baffles me, and I'll go a little bit more on that in a minute. But Tony, just your thoughts on the game, mate, and how you guys performed throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on the final, it's a weird one because I thought they were the better team on the day. I was there, and I thought they were the better team, to be honest. And I wasn't that. Obviously, I was disappointed with the loss, but I didn't come out fuming because penalties is a lottery. We know all the cliches, but also I just thought Italy were better on the day. I was quite surprised because I parked like a couple of train stops away from Wembley. So obviously come out of Wembley, got in the train, got in my car, and the radio going, "Oh, it's really 50-50," and that just wasn't how I saw it.
Mate, the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes when you guys come out, I thought, holy shit, we're in for a ride here. But it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the saying in football that teams score too early, and that might have been a case of it. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, I thought Italy were a better team until extra time. I thought we were better in extra time, but I thought there was a moment you could just see Italy were like, okay, we're basically going to settle for penalties, and that they stopped trying to push, and that was in the first half of extra time. Yeah, I mean, it was funny. The guy I went with he goes to Arsenal games with me. He's an Arsenal season ticket holder. And as Jorginho missed, I had looked to the halfway line straight away to see who was coming next for us. And I saw Saka take a step forward, and I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah.
And my mate went, "What?" And he's a bit blind. And I just pointed to the pitch, and he went, "What the fuck are they doing?" As soon as at this time, Saka's still in the centre circle. No, it wasn't that I thought he was going to miss, but I just think, look, I'm not a Southgate fan, and to be honest, I think he's done quite well in this tournament. And look, I didn't agree with the back five in the final. I thought they should have gone with a 4. And even during the game, we were much better when we changed to a 4. But then the goal came from wing back to wing back, so there's the argument either way. So I'm not really going to hammer Southgate for too much of what he'd done in the game because there was good things and bad things. But putting Saka 5th, putting Sancho on to take a penalty when he's never taken one before, Saka's never taken one before, is fucking criminal. It's just, look, as I said, anyone who's listened for the last few weeks knows I don't like Southgate, and people will probably be surprised here. I would keep him for the 2020 whatever year it is, 2 World Cup, because it just brings the squad together, and that's half the battle. Look, we said with France before the tournament, the only thing that could beat France was France, and that's what ended up happening. And Southgate gets all the England players wanting to play for England. They'll run through brick walls for him, and for me, that's half the battle. I don't think he's great tactically, but I would actually keep him in charge, which, as I said, I think some people will be surprised about. But them decisions with the penalties are scandalous, and I know that people are going to go, "Oh, well, he said he picked the best 5 in training," but doing things in training and doing things in front of 90,000 people in the final of the tournament when like there's so much pressure, and especially Saka fifth, it was a joke. Like I say to people, I used to take penalties like when I was playing 11 aside, 7 aside, whatever. And in training, even against Pickford, Donnarumma, I'd back myself. Put me in front of 90,000 people, I probably wouldn't even be able to make the walk from the halfway line up to the ball. I'd probably have to go to the toilet 3 times in that fucking 20-yard, 30-yard walk. So, like, training counts for nothing. Harry Maguire showed that. Never taken a penalty that I know of, like in a shootout maybe, but not. He's never been a penalty taker. And like he's just got confidence, goes and wraps it top corner. You've got Sterling, who's taken penalties for his club. You've got Grealish, who's taken penalties for his club. Like, I'm not digging these players out individually, but just going, oh, well, these 5 done the best in training. It's not enough. I mean, by all accounts,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
6 and 7 were Pickford and Calvin Phillips. Like, at what point do you have to go, well, actually, these attacking players have got a bit more ability than that? Like, just because someone may have performed better in training, in which case, fucking just pick your whole team based on training. If Harry Kane has a bad session, drop him. Like, that sounds ridiculous. But suddenly,
I know, yeah. And look, I just want to get your thoughts, and I had to cut you off there because you're going to fucking ramble on there for hours. I can tell just by listening to you, you're just pumped up, and you're so. I feel your frustration coming through, and I totally understand it. However, I'm gonna flip it a little bit. I was in a couple of chats, and I want to get your thoughts with you and your mate in the ground, and the general crowd in the ground. When I seen, was it Rashford, Sancho coming on in extra time, a couple of minutes to go, I could see, okay, they're getting ready for a shootout. Southgate's getting all the guys on to take penalties. Everybody that I was talking to in chats were going, oh, here we go. Southgate's getting ready. Sancho, Rashford, Saka. Well, he was already there. But I just felt that that's where they were going to go. And be honest, I was actually, and I'll make it no secret, I've supported Italy throughout this tournament for some strange reason. But I've got no ties to anyone. But we could all see that was happening, and I don't think anybody in the chats that I was in was saying, oh, shit, why would you do Sancho? Why would you do Rashford? Everybody's going, they're goal scorers, so they're professional footballers.
Look, there's no argument against Rashford. I'm not a fan of players coming on in the last 20 seconds, or whatever it is, to take a penalty, because a football isn't always a football, which may sound stupid. You kick one foot because it's been raining and whatnot, the ball's slightly heavy, you haven't got the feel for it. Like,
yep.
Whereas if you've been playing throughout the game, you know exactly. Some balls are a little bit lighter, so they go a bit higher than expected and whatnot. So I'm never a fan of that, but every manager does it. So again, that's not a criticism because they all do it, and it's just something I don't like. So in terms of Rashford, got absolutely no argument. When I saw them about to come on, and obviously I could see it was Rashford and Sancho. Rashford, no problem. And I actually said to my mate, like, obviously he's bringing him on for penalties. I said, I've never seen Sancho take a penalty, but maybe he's taken a couple for Dortmund or whatever. Yeah. And then I found out after the game, like when I was driving home, because my phone was dead as well. So when I got back in the car and I was listening to the radio, they were saying that 3 of the 5 had never taken a penalty before. So then that's kind of where the criticism comes from. In terms of making the sub, like for me, if he's going to make that sub, I'd have brought Calvert-Lewin and Rashford on, because Calvert-Lewin takes them or has taken them for Everton. Or, I mean, I'm trying to think who else was on the bench that...
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who was there as well. But Calvert-Lewin, he's a good shout. Absolutely.
Yeah, like Sancho, as I said, I didn't argue it at the time because I didn't know he'd never take one. And I actually said to my mate, he must be good at penalties to be coming on. But to find out after he'd never taken one, it's just a mind-blowing decision.
Well, and look, and I didn't even look at that stat prior to it had no interest to me. As far as I was concerned, the game's over. Italy won it. But you guys obviously checked that. So, wow, I'm finding this out right now. I never knew that. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck, surely Southgate would have known that.
Well, as I said, I knew Stacker had never taken one because I watch every Arsenal game.
Yeah.
I don't watch every Dortmund game, and I said to my mate at the time, I was like, I know he's not their main penalty taker because of Haaland, but maybe he's taken a few when Haaland's been off the pitch or Haaland's already scored 10 and fancies giving someone else a go, sort of thing. But yeah, and then to find out after that he'd never taken a professional penalty was like, what the hell is going on?
MAA Gunners just asked if Sterling wasn't even in the 5 takers, why was he left on?
That's a mad one. They put Rashford at right back for a minute, which could have gone wrong. Italy actually had an attack where they ran at him, and luckily he got the ball. Not luckily, well done, he got the ball. But yeah, and Sterling, by all accounts, wasn't even in the top 8. So, no, he wasn't in the top 7. He might have been 8th. Him, Grealish, and Shaw were 8, 9, 10, and it was the other one. There was someone else. Well, whoever it was. But yeah, it's a weird one to risk Rashford at right back in that minute when Sterling's not gonna take one anyway. But yeah, coming out of the ground, as I said, I wasn't too bothered about not bothered, that's the wrong word. I wasn't too depressed and down about the result. I was just fucking heartbroken for Saka because he should never have been put in that position. And he just looked like a
I get that. Yeah. No, and look, it's very hard for a young player and look, even you guys, I know a lot of you guys over there. I talk to you boys in England probably more than I talk to my guys blokes in Australia. But you guys, 55 years it's been since you've won a trophy, and it's got to be heartbreaking as well. I know blokes who have said to me, but Tez, I've never seen us win an international trophy in my life. So, these guys are 20, 30-year-olds. So for them, they seen that as the best opportunity, where I'm like, boys, you've got a World Cup coming up. And I really think England they're up there as one of the favourites, surely. I don't think write it off yet.
No, look, we're up there. I mean, yeah, we're up there. There's no two ways about that. We're in the top 4, say. And look, you're going to rely on luck of the draw and a few lucky moments here and there. But that's tournament football. That's how tournaments go. Italy were very lucky against Austria in their first knockout round. They obviously beat Spain on penalties. You need luck. And had England won it, we were a bit lucky against Germany. Muller misses a chance at 1-on-1. We went extra time with Denmark and got a lucky penalty. So you need luck to win tournaments, whoever wins it. I don't think anyone's ever won anything without a bit of luck. So, but yeah, I think England are within the shout for Qatar, for sure.
Italy, obviously, they won it. Were they the best team in the tournament?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. England deservedly be there as well. That was the 2 best teams?
Again, I think so, and that some people might think I'm biased, but we drew with Scotland in a game that ultimately didn't matter. And beyond that, Germany, we deserved to win. Yes, we was a bit lucky they missed their chances, but that's football. And to be honest, I was at the Denmark game as well, the semi-final. And I know it went to extra time, and I know the penalty was a little bit lucky. But I never, at no point, even when we were 1-0 down, did I feel like we were going to lose that game. It felt really comfortable. Whereas even 1-0 up against Italy, I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I'm just hoping you talk a little bit longer because I'm actually just looking for. I thought I had it there, but then I had mic troubles at the start, so I lost it. I wanted to just touch on our predictions. Here we go. I've got it here now. I just wanted to touch on our predictions over for the Euros. So just bear with me, and I'll get this up. That come up there now.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to go through a couple of other boys because we've got a few comments on this as well. So, I think this was you at the top, is it? France, runner-up Belgium, dark horse Italy. I'm going to tick that, obviously. Player of the tournament, Mbappe. Wow, he had a
Yeah.
Not a shocking tournament, but like he
By his
wasn't
standard.
Mbappe, was he? Yeah. Golden boot, Lukaku surprised me. Ronaldo got it, which I
Well,
actually
Ronaldo and Stick shared it, didn't they?
no, because did they? Because I was reading that Ronaldo won it on the assist. And
Oh, I thought they
that's
would have. I
bizarre.
thought they'd done it on less games, but they both got the same amount of goals.
Yeah, they both got 5. And then obviously I don't know how it works, but I was reading an article yesterday. Ronaldo got it due to the 1 assist, and I thought, oh, that's a bit shit. Underperformer England, so wrong.
Yeah, but that's it's like I never back Arsenal to come top 4.
Yeah, true. I've gone.
I'm either right or happy, so it's
I've gone obviously. What did I get there right? Winner Belgium, wrong. Runner up France. Dark horse Italy. Underperformer Holland. Who'd they go out with? Who got them out? Was someone
they
like
lost 2-0
Czech or
to
someone?
Czech Republic.
Czech.
Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, that is an underperformer, I think, by them.
Yeah.
They would have won that. Look to win that game.
Yeah.
Jack, he's gone underperformer Germany. Definitely underperformed for me. Who'd they go out to? Was it Switzerland?
But then that's a tough one because they come second in their group, which was a tough group with Portugal, France, and Hungary, and then they've lost to us. So
England,
last 16 is definitely underperforming. But if you look at the games they've played, is it an underperformance to lose a tight game to England? Maybe. It's a draw is massive in this because. You know what I mean? You get a strong team early on, and it puts you as an underperformer, even though you've lost the team you're meant to lose to.
Yeah. A listener, who's that? Salentical. Runner up Portugal, dark horse Croatia. Felix was the player. Ronaldo, we got underperformer France.
That's Clay, I think.
Clay, is it? Yeah, okay. That's Liam. I know that one. France, Portugal, Poland, Mbappe in England. Don't think you got any right there, Liam. Who else? I'll just go through these really quickly, just have a quick look if anything sticks out. Underperformer Spain. That's an interesting one. I thought they were really good.
Got to semis, lost on penalties.
Who'd they go out with? Who got them out again?
Italy.
Switzerland. Italy. Oh, fuck. What? I keep thinking Switzerland knocked some big player.
France.
Big team.
Yeah, they beat
France.
France.
They did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Underperformed Belgium. I think they underperformed once they got out of the group stages.
But they lost to Italy.
Who went to the final, but
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Where the draw is major because Belgium only lost to the winners, but because it was earlier on than you would have expected, it becomes like, oh, they lost early. But when the team they've lost to, that could have been the final.
Yeah. True. Who we got here? Scotty, France, Belgium, Italy, Kante. A couple of them had Kante as well. What was that for, Kante?
Player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament. Wow, okay. Schwinn, sitting on the fence, no answer, bottled it, no commitment, no guts, keeping quiet. Fucking hell. Typical fucking Schwinn.
Always.
I gotta give that a retweet just to fucking remind him. MAA Gunner, he's gone France, Belgium, so wrong. Dark horse Switzerland.
They done well.
Done well. Ronaldo, he got right. This is why he wanted me to read this. Mbappe, golden boot. Player of the tournament, he's gone Ronaldo. Okay. So, no, you're wrong.
I mean, if anyone got the player of the tournament, they are from the future.
Who got it? Who was the player of the tournament?
Donnarumma.
Oh, really? That's right. Yeah. Wow.
Didn't win the Golden Glove, but won the player of the tournament.
Won the player of the tournament. Wow. Yeah. Who else we got here? Rico. He's gone. Germany, Turkey. A few people said under dark horses. I think were Turkey. No.
They were loads of people's.
Yeah. they were shocking. You know, and I took a few bets on Turkey. I took a few bets, I should say. I bet on Turkey a few games in the group stages. I think it was the first opening game because people said, "Oh, they're the dark horse, Tez. They're fucking watch them," and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, how wrong I was and how wrong they were because they were fucking shock. Under form of Portugal, I don't think so. I think they played a good tournament. Looking through. Nothing really jumping out here. Benzema golden boot. He had a good tournament. Yeah, anyway, that's about it. Nothing really jumping out at me. Everybody was on France by the looks of that. Unlucky. France. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about it. Thank you, everybody, there for you guys showing your predictions. I thought I'll just grab them up quickly. I've got a couple of comments coming through. MAA Gunner did ask, yes. Russ, morning, buddy, or evening. How are you, buddy? He says, evening. Rick, I hope my selections are buried deep in the archives. I think I just brought them up, Rick, and you were so wrong, buddy. So wrong. I just want to touch very quickly on Copa America. I enjoyed that tournament very much. I know, Tony, you didn't see many games because it was on like fucking clock hour or something.
I watched the first half of the final, and I don't know if it was because I'd been obviously at games with fans, and that went back to having 4 people there. But it felt like one of the shittest games I'd ever watched, and it was like 145. Like half time was at 145, and I thought, fuck this, I'm going to bed. Like it was like, but you know, if it had been a good game, maybe I still would have gone to bed, maybe not. But with the way the game was going, I was like, yeah, there is not a chance I'm staying up.
I'll be on. Look, and people may say, look, fuck, you're dreaming, but I watched pretty much all games, right? Because it's on at 10 a.m. in the morning, and then again later for me. Perfect time for me, right? I'm doing nothing. How the fuck Brazil and Argentina got into the final in the first place was, I fucking got no idea. Colombia, I thought Colombia were really good. Uruguay, they were very good. I actually thought it'd be one of them teams. Paraguay weren't too bad either. And I know nothing about Peru, right? I don't know many of their players in Peru. I think one of the striker with the guy with the nose, he plays in the Serie A.
The guy with the nose.
The fucking thing on his nose, you know, yeah, that black fucking broken nose. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that guy, I can't remember his name now. Anyway, yeah, that's the only kind of player I've really seen in the Peru team. They were all right. I thought Peru were unlucky. Argentina, Brazil, yeah, dodgy game. Fuck all. Great they done it for Messi, though, Argentina. And, yeah, they move on. I'm just trying to think because my memory's like fucking Dory, mate. Dead set. I have it's fucking, I hate it. I can't remember. Okay, buddy, that's it. Euros, Copa America, done and dusted. World Cup coming up. I'm looking forward to that. Euros, I wish it went longer. I loved it. I reckon
I mean, I hate the group stages because everyone goes through, so there's no jeopardy in the games. But since the last group games in most groups, and then the knockout stages, it was a really good tournament. And like, this is my biggest problem with the way it all ended in terms of the fans and stuff. Is like, I mean, this won't ring true for you, but anyone in England, like, the country was all together. They was all happy. It was like a big party for the whole tournament, pretty much. And then now, not just the football, but it's like a massive downbeat because there's been the racism stuff that's just flared up. The stuff with the crowd, the fans at the games flared up. And it's like everyone was all united for the first time in a long time. Everyone happy, everyone together. And now it's just like a bomb's hit and everything's falling apart. It's getting more political than football, but yeah, it was really bad. It was really annoying the way it ended.
It was embarrassing. Like, I people know, you know, we all love football. I do it, you know, like we watch football, we live and breathe football pretty much. And to see that, what I've seen go on in the last 24 hours has kind of been embarrassing. You know, I've got blokes who don't follow football, ring me up or text me and say, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, yeah, it's embarrassing. They don't know the full story. They just see a video.
That's the biggest problem, though, because there's so many people that don't know the full story, and then they add on it. They add what they think's happening, but they report that as fact.
Yeah,
like you all these like Z-list celebrities. Like I don't know if you saw it. There was someone comment. You posted the video on Twitter. Obviously, I didn't see it until the next morning because my phone died when I was at the game. So, And then I've looked at the comments. I hadn't even seen the video before. I watched the video, looked at the comments, and someone commented. I think it was South Africa. Their account was in, and they commented, English fans can't take losing." And I was like, it was before the game. And he was like, "Oh, well, maybe they knew it wasn't coming home then." And I was like, "Shut up!" Like, just you know what I mean? If you've got something to add, but then his comeback was like, "Oh, well, it's racism towards the Italians." I was like, "Yeah, it was English and English. Like, there was no Italians involved at any time." So this is what I'm saying. Look, I don't blame that guy because he just doesn't know. But if you don't know, educate yourself before you speak. And that's just what's happened. Exactly. There's so many people that ain't got a clue what's going on, but they've just decided or they've heard something, and it's made it a much bigger case than it should have been. Look, I'm not defending it, and I said this to you straight away as soon as I saw it. I'm like, I'm not defending this in any way, but until people fully understand what was actually happening, they won't understand what they're watching. But that's the problem. There's so many people reporting on it that just don't even know what they're watching. And a big problem as well is there was a massive black market for these tickets. So there was a lot of from touts, these tickets were going for I think the standard price was probably about £3,000 a ticket. So you got a lot of rich posh people that have never been to football before or don't regularly go to football. So the stuff that obviously not the breaking into the ground, but some of the stuff happening in the grounds, people getting drunk, doing whatever, these posh people have not seen that before, so they're commenting it and saying it's a disgrace. But that's what we see every week. That's part of the football culture. Obviously you're in the group where in the semi-final Jack posted a video of people had all thrown beer on the floor and they were doing slides. So now that's normal to me. I see that week in, week out.
Normal. Absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. But these posh people are seeing that and they don't know that that's normal, so they're like, these drunken yobs are sliding along. And then so people go, "Oh, look, they were fucking smashed." And I was like, it's part of normal culture. There was one of my mates, his mate, as someone he knows, their dad's very rich, so they got them free tickets for 10 grand. So these three rich people never go to games, and they was like, it was disgusting. We heard people were talking about doing cocaine in toilets. Look, drugs ain't for me. If you want to do them, that's on you. But I have never ever been to a football game where there is not cocaine in the toilets. I've never been to a nightclub where there's not cocaine in the toilets.
It is. Look, that is what it is. It's
but that's what I'm saying. All the complaints are coming from people that don't know that. Don't know. If you're that against cocaine, you would never work in an office. You'd never go to a nightclub. You would never go to football. And probably a million other things. But because these people are seeing it for the first time, they're like, it's a disgrace. People go to football and take cocaine. Not everyone does it. And there is a section that does it, but there's a section in everything. I mean, obviously you worked in security. Fucking you'd have been seeing it nonstop.
And that's right. And my first reaction to that video was, look, I looked at it. You try and make your own opinion on what actually happened because you're looking at that video and you can find it I threw it up on our Twitter account at the Clock and Talk. But I looked at it and I thought, oh, fuck, that's I don't really know what's going on here, but that doesn't look good.
It's not good. There's no defending it.
And I'm trying to
explain to people. I keep trying to explain it to people and they think I'm trying to defend it and I'm not. But as I said, when people are going, all English fans are racist because they're fighting Italians. One, it wasn't Italians, and two, it wasn't all England fans. All English are bitter because they lost. Well, it was before the game.
It was before the game.
But because I'm trying to explain to people what happens, they just think I'm trying to defend it, and you can't defend it. It's fucking mindless. But also, and the other one, and this is the one I had to kind of explain to you when you was like, why aren't the stewards
like getting rid of them people. And I was like, look, it was wrong, but they're technically trying to help the stewards.
They're trying to help.
I'm not defending it. I'm not saying it was right, but I'm telling people the reason why they wasn't thrown out.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's what I said to you. Oh, okay. Look, for me, and obviously you touched. I security was my background, and there would have been a risk assessment done there, and somebody will get their asses caned, I'd imagine. Disabled gate, you were telling me, that was opened up, or
yeah, but it was planned
bombarded
like
or something.
Yeah. So basically, one person opened it, and then everyone steamed through. I actually feel really sorry for the police and the stewards because they're getting hammered. And from what I saw, I don't really know what more they could have done. And I was having an argument with one of my friends yesterday, like good friend, doesn't go to football, but watches on TV and whatnot. And he was saying it was a disgrace. And I said, what was a disgrace? And he explained what he thought was a disgrace. I said, okay, how'd you fix it? And he was like, I don't know, but that's not my decision. I was like, look, unless you're going to come with a solution, you can't tell me something's a disgrace. Because I was there, obviously, and I don't know how they could have stopped that happening.
No, mate, you're not going to, because that's already happened. So the only thing that and if I had my staff there, I'd be saying, look, you know what? Let's try and shut the gate, or let's just walk away, because people are going to get hurt. So let them go through.
Yeah, but you can't. Like, imagine they left the gate.
Yeah, there'd be thousands. That's the problem.
So, exactly. So basically, there was 60,000 tickets sold. I was obviously at Wembley during the day because of like the atmosphere before the game. So I got there at 2, I think it was 2:30 for an 8 o'clock kickoff. And already at 2 o'clock, there was more than 60,000 people there in the area, just having a good time. By kickoff, I reckon there was more than 100, like more than double the attendance, more than 120,000 people there. So you imagine they leave that gate open, the game would never have been played, and people would have been crushed because there's like 2 people for every seat. Like, it's just, it wasn't possible.
The way they went about it, though, like whatever they were trying to do, and
trying to get it closed and get the people.
I get what they're trying to do, but and for me, that's just too little, too late. Like, and old Charlie next to me, I don't want help from Charlie either. Like, mate, come on, I know they're trying to help. I totally get that, but
I think that was more like them people had probably paid. They'd paid thousands for a ticket, and they were kind of just more annoyed that someone was getting in for free, because you could hear him shouting, "Pay your money, pay your money." But again, I'm not defending it. It's like, look, as I said to you, if I was that person, I didn't see that where I was. Obviously, that was only in one area of the ground, but I would let you. I ain't trying to fight you. It's not my ground. I don't own it. Like I said, if you break into my house, I will try and fight you. If you break into a football stadium that I'm in, I would not give a shit.
Yeah, look, I agree with you there. and obviously, I reckon that, that whoever was in charge of the security or Wembley, the whole risk assessment and everything, I would imagine they would look at this for next game, or the next big game.
Yeah, it's difficult because I think the only thing they got wrong was the numbers, as in they didn't expect as many people to turn up, and it wasn't as they probably should have had more police there and more stewards there. But our police are severely underfunded anyway, which again is getting political. And the stewards, in all fairness to them, they're on minimum wage. So if anyone's trying to fight me and I'm earning £9 an hour, I don't give a shit. Go through. Like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not paid enough to try and fight you.
No, and I'm not trying to make excuses here. And I said to you in the chat, I said, my only thought behind this was, okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, if England win, you guys walk away happy. But being played in England at Wembley Stadium, there was definitely 100%, 1,000% going to be more English fans than Italian fans. So I think they fucked up massively. And you say, they're underpaid and things. But someone took a gamble and went, look, England will probably win this. I don't know if that's totally right. I don't know. But
I don't.
I know it's before it. I know it's before. Yeah, I know it's before, but what I'm getting at,
and there was no problems with Italians. Like, to be honest, like, because it wasn't. Look, it obviously mainly was a home stadium because we're in England, but it wasn't. Anyone could have brought tickets anywhere. The 4 people sat behind me were Italian, and they celebrated their goal fully, and no one said, like, you might give them a dirty look. I probably did. Like, you're cheering your team goal right next to me, but no one. I didn't say anything, and there was no threat of violence from anyone. Like. Do you know what I mean? You're someone, you knobhead sort of thing, but not like.
So that was just an isolated incident that been caught and it just happened, I guess.
Yeah, as I said, and it wasn't an Italian versus England thing at all. Like it was people were desperate to get in the ground, and they were going to do whatever they could, and they did.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
I just read Sam's comment saying I'm not sure about that.
It up.
Yeah, but I don't really know what he's not sure about. I'm not pretending. I'm not defending England fans as a whole, really. And to be honest, most of the times when you go to tournaments, most of the fans aren't like. For me, the England fans are the ones that go to the they go everywhere. When you get to the finals of any tournament, and it's the same with club football, everyone wants to go because it's a final. And then you do get the people that are more interested in the piss up and the coke and the whatever else. But yeah, look, I'm not defending any fans particular. I'm just saying in that situation, what has been reported is quite a long way from the truth.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just quickly read Sam's comment because those on the podcast have absolutely no idea what we're even talking about there. So he says, I'm not sure about that. I was at the World Cup in Germany and England, and fans had to be segregated from other supporters, and I saw violence from only our fans. It still happens. He's obviously English, I guess.
Definitely. So, yeah. I mean, the segregation bit's not so much. I mean, it was widely reported that Russian fans attacked English fans in the last Euros in France. I mean, people were going on about English fans. Yeah, but I mean, people going on about England v Italy, but let's not be too careful and pretend Italy fans ain't got a history. And in Russia, by all accounts, everything went smoothly. Like every fan's had their moments, and I'm not defending England fan. I wouldn't even really class myself as an England fan because I'm a fair weather fan. Like I went to the semis and finals.
Did you go to Russia in the World Cup?
Did I fuck?
No. I thought you might have. No, the only reason I asked that is I would love to know, at when the World Cup was at Russia and anyone in there, I'd love to know, like, was it like heavily policed, like, because you don't see that on TV. So,
do you know what? I think it was the police. The sanctions are proper. The only mistake I think the police made the other day in the final was the people caught trying to get in. If they were trying to get in without a ticket, if they caught them, they just threw them back out. So then they were just trying again and again. I know someone, not a friend, who tried 7 times and got in on the 7th time.
Wow.
But the issue is because they were understaffed, our police are so underfunded, the police couldn't go and march them away to a van or a cell because there was more people trying to get in than there was police. So if one police went with every person every time, you'd have just ended up with no police.
At Russia, I vaguely remember there was the police that they threw them in the cell, didn't they? Like it was pretty heavy-handed.
I don't know, but that's what you expect from Russia. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think the threat, so I know people that were planning to try and like break in or to Wembley or trying to get in without a ticket, and they weren't too sure. But then they saw someone else try and they got away without punishment. So it was like, well, why would I not try? Worst case, they're basically just going to say no. Best case, I get to watch a European final for free. There was no, no fear.
Yeah. It's crazy. I hope they get it sorted. I hope they fix it for when it happens next time. Well, when a major event happens next time, I don't know if you'll get something that was a pretty big event. So,
well, I think there's rumors we're bidding for the 2030 World Cup, and I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they'd be. I don't know. Let's just hope it gets sorted because I don't like to see that. And as a football fan, I don't like to be trying to explain things to my mates who are rugby league fans. And let me tell you, rugby league fans will love the fact that this has happened because rugby league is a sport that is very, very dark.
Yeah, but they drink but they drink each other's piss. They don't even count as humans.
A shout out to Ryan Girdler. I know you're listening, buddy. I just want to touch quickly on the Aussie media over here. And this really fucking pissed me off yesterday. And I seen it. It was on their Facebook page. 7 News. 3 black players failed in the penalty shootout, which England lost 3-2 against Italy. Now, I bring it up because at first glance on Facebook, I scrolled past because I didn't really want to be getting involved in it. I was like, you're fucking kidding, really? Really? And then one of the boys brought it up in the chat, and I seen it again, and I thought, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I'm going to share it, and I did. And it kind of got lots of retweets and likes and stuff. I wasn't out to cause trouble. I was just like, that's just fucking shit. You know what I mean? And then to see an apology.
Just before, I mean, the apology was a joke. But before we even get onto that, this is like the problem with the world in a sense that you don't want to share it. Like, these things need to be highlighted. And I'm with you. I'm not blaming you, but so many people have looked at and then thought, do I really want to get political? But these people are idiots and they need to be called out on it. Like, that is a disgrace of a headline. And as you said, the apology was worse than the fucking headline.
Yeah, look, and at the time, it was, I think it was 9:30 at night, and I seen the apology come through, and I thought, you know what? Thanks for the apology. And I kind of just wanted to move on. And then the next day I woke up and I looked through the comments and I thought, it is a very fucking piss poor apology. I did think of that at the time, but once again, I don't want to bring any light to myself either. I just want to try and, But
yeah, as I said, this is where we should be. And look, I'm as guilty as you that I probably would see things and just think that's a joke and not do anything about it. But these things do need to be highlighted, and it's a society. It's something the society needs to do because you can't get away. I mean, there's just no need. Like,
it was just, I don't know. Look, they say that they tell me that they're taking action. I don't know. I don't know if they will. I don't know what we do as fans either and things, because I just don't even know where it's at. And there's the apology, and it's just this piss poor. They come out with that a couple of hours later after I'm not saying that I brought it to attention, because Facebook was also blowing up about it as well. And earlier today, a social media post was published with regrettable mistake. We sincerely apologise for the offence the post caused. So you're apologising for the offence the post caused. That just kind of, I think who wrote that apology was the same fucking imbecile who wrote the post to start with.
Well, the thing, a regrettable mistake, that's not a mistake. A mistake is spelling a word wrong.
Well, that's the other,
Like, I was just at boxing, kind of talking about similar issues with one of my black friends, and he was saying in the days of social media, nothing's a mistake, because it's not like you've just said it out, it's come out of your head and you're like, shit, what did I say? You have to get your phone, open your phone, type it, press send. And that's just for a normal person like me or you. For a publication like that, it doesn't, you know what I mean? They don't just go on and tap it into their phone. It's like, that's been thought about, and someone's thought, this is a good idea. Like,
someone's.
It's mind blowing. Like, and as you said, you don't know what, as the public, what can we do? And I think we just have to highlight it. Like, it kind of rang true to me yesterday when someone tweeted that a black footballer is only one kick away from endless abuse. And you're like, that's ridiculous, but true. Like,
last season I sat there and watched the every game of the Premier League. I had mates who sat there and may have watched 1 or 2 games with me who don't really know much about the Premier League. And a lot of questions I got asked is, how come they're taking a knee? What's going on there? Like, and how fucking embarrassing it is to try and explain that this is what these footballers are doing to get a message across. Like, that's fucked up in its own world, you know what I mean? Like,
well, this is a conversation I've just had with someone. I fundamentally disagree with taking the knee, because again at Wembley on both the semi and final, actually, when they done it, it got a little bit of boo drowned out by cheers, and I was so happy it got drowned out by cheers. But I think now it's just become a gesture that doesn't mean anything because it's gone on for too long. It's been over a year now, and like, I'm more like Wilfried Zaha. I agree with Wilfried Zaha. He basically refuses to do it because it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's now just become something you do before the game that doesn't mean anything. I would rather something that means something. And like, some people get really upset when I say that, because I say I'm against the taking a knee. So they kind of go, "Oh, does that mean you're racist or whatever?" And I'm like, no, I just want action. I don't want a meaningless gesture that is going to be forgotten about. You do it so often. And again, I don't know what the answer is, but. And again, now, as you said, you have people that don't watch football seeing it, and you have to explain it to them, and it becomes a bit of a wow, that's what's happening. And I said I would rather something that has a meaning, because taking a knee has a meaning, but has a result of positive. I actually think it's bringing more negativity now, because idiots, and they are idiots, boo it, and then like, because now racism is in the headlines all the time. You get like the posts about Rashford, Saka, and Sancho. You get the mural of Rashford being graffitied with racist abuse. You're getting all that stuff because it's in the headlines, I think. Apparently today, I don't know how true this is. I mean, I read the headline that the FA went through the social media accounts that had tweeted or Instagram this sort of stuff. And most of them were in foreign countries where betting is strong. They mainly weren't from England. This is what the FA said. So that's because basically people were saying these people should be found and banned from football of all kinds. And the FA basically said, we don't have power to ban them in the Premier League. We hope the clubs will do that, which some have when they've caught people. They said we'll ban them from England games, but they're mainly in Thailand or wherever. So then they said we have to rely on the social media platforms, and they just don't do anything. So what can you do?
It's and Sam, I'll get to your comment in a minute. Hemi, a mate of mine who I met through social media, and he listens to the show and shows support. But he's over there where you are as well in England, and he actually pointed out to me yesterday. He said, "Tez, the problem is up top." And I said, "What do you mean up top?"
100%.
And he's pointing it at, no, I won't say. He's saying that, the government and things like that. He said, right. "Mate, yeah, okay. Yeah." So I'm like, wow, really? And he's like, "Yeah, you got to start from the top, because everybody's follows suit, and it's almost like that's just the culture." And I'm like, fuck, really? Like, I'm speechless. Like, I'm Aboriginal heritage myself here in Australia, and we're past all that. Like, growing up in schools in the 80s and 90s, well, yeah, you probably wouldn't put your hand up to say I'm Aboriginal, and it's it's not the fact that I wouldn't put my hand up. It's because I didn't want the bullying, the abuse when I was a child, and the racism of what comes with your background. But in 2021, is that the year? Yeah. I don't get that no more. Like, we're all proud Aboriginal people, and we're proud of our culture. We're proud of our ancestors. I'm a proud Aussie. And when I say Aussie, I'm like full fucking Australian Aussie, born and bred here through my ancestors. And things that happened in the past, well, it happened in the past, and I won't go into detail, but I wouldn't be here if them things didn't cement history. So to hear that that's happening over there, that's just wow.
Well, this is the biggest disappointment of the tournament for me, because everyone had been so happy and it had been so inclusive. Like, you'd get people walking down the street in hijabs and England shirts. Like, you'd get people from all races, all cultures that felt that they could support England. You'd go in a pub and there'd be like the strictest Muslims that they might not be drinking, but they were there to watch the football and enjoy the atmosphere, and they felt like England fans. They felt included. They felt welcomed for the whole tournament, and it's been amazing. Like, there was loads of Twitter posts about it, of everyone, like Hasidic Jews, they felt included. They felt they could go and support England, and for them 90 minutes, they were as English as me or Mr. England or whoever. And then the final happens, and it's just gone completely backwards. So even as a culture, like as a country, it's completely changed, and it's probably more so than the football. It's disappointing what's happened in terms of the country, because you've had the last month of people going, "Oh no, I'm black, brown, whatever skin color, but I'm English and I'm accepted as English. And then now, of that whole month, they felt like that. The final whistle goes, and it's like, oh fuck that sake, they just see me as another Indian, Asian, African, whatever again.
Yeah,
That's disappointing.
That's fucked. That's fucked. And look, I take the piss of you fellas, and you know, we fuck around, and I actually got called a bit racism the other day because I think I called you or one of the boys a pommy, and I'm like, really? Okay. And that's just literally a piss take. I don't mean that in any disrespect. Like, I don't mean it by any disrespect at all. So, Sam, he says, does that worry you, me calling you a pom though?
No, for me, I don't really know what it means. It's an Australian. I know Australians call English people it. I just assumed it was a name for English people. I actually don't know or care what it means.
Yeah, okay. It's actually prisoner of Her Majesty.
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay.
didn't even know. As I said, to me, it's just a term that Aussies use about us, and doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. No, that's all right. Okay, cool. I just thought I'd ask because I thought, maybe it is racism, but I don't mean to. On a similar point, Sam says, we need to get away from the tribalism. I saw people from other countries saying England fans are racist, but it exists everywhere and should be called out for the nonsense it is. Totally agree. I don't know how you fix it, though. Look, we're a very multicultural country here in Australia. Like, there's, a lot of Sikh Indians. There's a whole town just over, where I am, and lovely people. I could not find more lovelier people. I don't know if that's Schwinn's. I don't know if it's the same background as Schwinn, but yeah, I think as a country in Australia, and what are we, 200 and something years old, we have come a long way to what it was a long time ago. So how they did that, I don't know. But it just has, even since the 80s and 90s, like I said, I wasn't embarrassed, but I was more so, I didn't want to, the drama behind my culture and heritage. So anyway, let's move on because I really hate talking about that shit. So, and it gets a bit depressing at times because there's something you just can't. Yeah, that's right. It's fuck all I can do about it. So, we've got a new signing, Tony.
We have.
And I'm just getting it up on the screen somewhere, I think. No, wrong one. But yeah, we've got Nuno Tavares. Did I say that right?
It's one of them things. It's quite similar to my surname, to be fair, but he'll say it completely different to how everyone in England will say it because they're their local dialect. So for in Spanish and Portuguese, he'll say Tavares, I think, because V's are B's and Z's are THs. But I mean, how it will say Tavares, that will be his name in England.
Tavares. Sure. Yeah, I thought that's how you guys would say. £6.8 million. Was it? No, that was signing for.
Yeah.
Left back, it gives Tierney a bit of competition.
Yeah, I think it's more for cover, but obviously we'll see more. I watched the first half of Arsenal's friendly today before I had to go out. I literally only watched it because I was in. And they've done a bit of a comparison on stats between him and Tierney, like only basic ones. And he seems like a quick, attacking, adventurous left back. Maybe suitable if we have to play a back five at some point as a left wing back. I'd be lying if I said I knew masses about him. Obviously, he wasn't fit enough to play today, but we'll see on Saturday what the boy can do.
Yeah, look, it's neither here nor there. Like, I think myself will great if Tierney, when Tierney's injured, we really relied on Cedric. So I don't know how much this guy's going to get, but game time and things, but it is cover, I think, and it's a good little signing. 21-year-old, and he's young. You never know. I'm not going to say this guy's the bee's knees. I may have seen him play once. I don't even know that. He's got an opportunity.
Yeah, Benfica. He played against us. He
Yeah.
come on as a sub in the second leg, but I mean, look, now he's got an opportunity to impress, and we'll see. Hopefully, he does just that. But as I said, I can't go much on past. I think they said he started 10 or 11 games for Benfica last season, so it's not like a season pro that we've all seen loads. He's a kid with a chance, and let's hope he takes it.
Another one that we're hearing that is in the bag. They keep saying Ben White.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's been done for fucking ages.
Yeah, so that we'll probably hear something there. That's a good. I'll be happy with that. You happy with that as well?
I still worry about having Leno behind him, really, because I don't see the point in having a footballing defender when the guy can't give him the ball. But we'll see. I like the profile of Ben White. I think he's a good player. And look, he's 23, I think. So you've potentially got your centre back for a long, long time to come.
Okay. There was a midfielder who is in quarantine. Yeah. I know fuck all about him. So
I know, look, he was chased by a lot of clubs. He's been playing for a couple of years for Anderlecht. I think there's 80 caps. I think he's captain them. Yeah, so there's rumours he's going to go out on loan, but I can't see it. But yeah, look, all you can say, look, when you don't know anything about a player, you kind of, one part of you looks to who else was trying to sign him.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
when there is a lot of clubs trying to sign him, you go, okay, it's not just a crazy scout that's like Runarsson, where someone's recommended him and they've just gone with it. Yeah. If a few people have seen it, and the press in Belgium all seem to highly rate him and kind of say he's the future. I don't think he was in the Belgium squad, but I think they took him with them. England used to do this a lot. Like, so he's been integrated into the squad for the future. So even though he wasn't in the squad and couldn't have been picked, he was in and around it and training with them. So it looks like there's something there.
I'm just going to rattle off, when we're talking, that's probably about the three that I can see getting done on reports. Looks like them three are in the bag. I don't want to say deal done, but it seems that way to me. I'll touch on a couple of names that are popping up, incomings. Locatelli.
Won't happen.
Won't happen for you because I'm reading advanced talks and things like this.
I said this way. I mean, obviously we was doing a live show and MAA Gunner brought it up because it come out from their president. We did for him. He'll go to Juventus. He's a Juventus fan. He's admitted that he wants to go to Juventus. In Italy, pressure tells a lot. He'll go to Juventus.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I see where you're coming from with Juventus, and I totally get it. It's almost like Germany players just want to go to Bayern Munich. That's the goal, like to get there. If you're born and bred in Germany, so I get it, but I don't think he's going to see much game time at Juventus. So I don't know how they're going to go. Allegri's back there, obviously. Well, they will go well with Allegri. He got the best out of him before.
You say that. You say you ain't going to get game time. Who's going to start ahead of him in centre midfield?
I think. Trying to think of their fucking squad now.
Like, I mean, Rabiot played a lot of games. Ramsey doesn't get a look in, so
Ramsey won't be there. Nah, he'd be ahead of them.
Well, for me, I think he'd start.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not flushed with cash, so if they're looking, and that is reportedly the problem, but if they're looking to spend that kind of fee on someone, it ain't to be chilling on the bench.
I guess, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've got nothing really, but I'm trying to think of their fucking squad. Who they got? Are they getting fuck. I hate having a stroke. The bloke for Barcelona. He was at Juventus and then he went to Bay. He was at Roma. What's his name? Penjak.
Well, they've got Arta there, who they signed from Barcelona.
Yeah. No, this is Barcelona are looking to get rid of a fair few players. And I just can't, fuck if I can think of his name. Sorry, guys. He was at Roma. He then went to Juventus. He then went to Barcelona, and Barcelona have to cut wages, and he looks like going back out. And I'm thinking he may end up back at Juventus. And for the life of me, do you think I can think of his fucking name right now?
Roma to Juventus to Barca.
Yeah, I got to get it up because it's going to fucking bug the hell out of me.
Oh, Pjanic.
Yeah, Pjanic.
He won't go back there.
You don't think he'll go back to Juventus?
Nah.
Oh, okay. That was the other one I was thinking to myself.
Wages are too high. That's why.
But he hasn't got a choice. He hasn't got a choice, has he? Will he have a choice? Yeah, well, okay.
Barca tried to terminate his contract and he said no.
So he's just going to stick it out and say, oh, well, I'll sit here.
I think a Premier League team will take him.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a desperate last-minute thing, but I think a Premier League team will take him.
Talking of Barcelona, is there anyone there that you can think, oh, shit, I'd like, obviously the obvious, but anyone possibly that we could go, oh, yeah, we'll grab him, but at decent prices and things like that?
It's difficult because they've got an aging squad where you wouldn't want too many of them, and then they've got their untouchables that are obviously not available, and then they're young guys. They're not going to let go. So they're De Jong. I mean, I don't rate Frankie De Jong as most people know, but they're not going to let him go. They're not going to let Pedri go. They're not going to let Ansu Fati go. So it's difficult. That's why they're struggling, because the players they don't want, no one else wants. Your Coutinho's, Griezmann, I think they want him, but he's on so much money they'll happily let him go. Yeah. Same with Dembele. Like, I wouldn't with the money.
Well, City came out and said they didn't want Griezmann, and them rumours are shit. So
yeah, he's been linked with Chelsea as well, but he's on like £1 million a week or something stupid.
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
There was rumours of Atletico taking him back, but again, the money, he ain't going to get paid that at Atletico.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate that. Just names, they just don't come to me like I don't. I'd say used to, but like, I know where I'm talking, but I don't know. Can't sometimes I just fucking don't. Yeah, I can't get it. So, I was just looking at the Juventus squad, and you're right. You know, he might get a start there because I can't see anyone starting. I didn't know that their squad was so light.
Spent all their money on Ronaldo.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. Well, I did. Yeah. Now Arsenal, I said to you boys in the chat, I've got a major problem here. We are so fucking light. If Granit goes in the midfields, leaves us El Nani, Partey, and this new kid, this new midfielder, when it gets confirmed, I'm a bit concerned.
It depends how you look at it. Like, technically, you've still got Ainsley, Willock, and Torreira there as well. Which, no, I'm not saying anything good. No, look, we need to make signings. We're short in so many positions, but it's what it is. Like, I know it sounds boring saying there's a long way to go, but there is, and I know what's going to happen. We're going to start the first game of the season with a weakened team because Saka won't be back. Obviously, Granit will be off, and we don't know if he'll be replaced. And even if he is replaced with someone who's gone deep in the tournament, like a Locatelli, he's not going to be ready for the first game of the season. No, God knows when Leno's back, and we don't have a number 2. Our number 3 is going to be the kid that played today, and he's clearly not ready. Nowhere near ready. So we're light in quite a few positions. We still haven't got a right back. If we play
Bellerin, do you think Bellerin will go?
He wants out. It's just if anyone pays the money, he'll go. He will go. It just depends if we get what we want for him. But yeah, we're light there. KT should be back for the start of the season. But then if ESR plays 10, first game of the season, then we're struggling on the left unless he plays Aubameyang there, which kind of feels like we want to get away from. Yeah. So we're light in a few positions, to be honest. If we sign a 10, then obviously ESR moves to the left and Pepe plays on the right in the first game of the season while Saka's not back, then you know what, it's not too bad. But if we don't sign a 10, I think we'll sign Maddison, you know.
That was my next question, Madison. You think we'll get him?
I think so, and this is based on absolutely fucking nothing. Like, I know, so my Leicester contact is one of my best ones.
Yep.
And he said he's not really heard much, but he said he feels that for the money that's being rumored, the 60 odd million, they will sell him, he thinks. And he said that 200k a week is way too much from Maddison, which is reported that it's been offered.
Yeah. You know what I see when I think of Maddison is consistent, and that's he's not a player who wows me, but he's a player who gets the stats, does the job, good job, and he's solid. He's solid and consistent. And that's what I like about Maddison. He's not your glary midfielders, you know.
I said this to someone the other day. I think if we sign him, Arsenal fans will probably get on his back quite a lot, annoyingly, because he's one of these that he's always trying to make something happen, which means he gives the ball away a hell of a lot. And that's okay when you're getting the goals and the assists. When you're not, people don't like it, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know anything more than anyone else, and just purely opinion, and everyone will have their opinion. I just think it feels like it's going to happen.
I've actually seen, and I don't know if it's the ITKs that are popping up, but I've actually seen people tweeting and trying to think. It was a young lady who tweeted something out during the week, and other accounts who just they're not ITKs. They just are Arsenal fans, I think, but may have heard something. And one of them said, "I guarantee you, Maddison." I can't find the tweet. I'm not even going to look for it, but I guarantee you, Maddison will be an Arsenal player. Mark my words. And it's not like mark my words. I'll shut the account or anything. I think I think she may have. You know how we talk about, they might know the accountant or the fucking real estate agent or what. I think it's something like that is what I'm getting, because no other tweet is ITK stuff. It's all just Arsenal fan related stuff. So I'm like, oh, maybe she knows something. I don't know.
Well, it's like, this name will mean nothing to you, but Charlie Brake, who was on Love Island, but he was rich before that. He comes from a rich family. And he had a picture with Maddison a couple of weeks ago, and then he said, "Welcome to Arsenal." And then
I did see that. People
were like, "Is he messing about or something?" And then the other day he tweeted something along. Someone said like Maddison to Arsenal, and he replied just like with the eyes emoji. And look, I'm not basing that on that, because, as I said, he's a Z-list celebrity But I don't know. I just feel like it's going to happen. And I could be completely fucking wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, I just
you're admitting like you could be wrong.
As I said, I'm not basing it on anything. It's when I'm based. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I wouldn't even say it's an opinion, because opinions are informed. This is not informed at all.
I'm just trying to think. There was the Tierney or the Aubameyang. What was the one that we got word on? Someone DM'd Tierney, was it? Yeah. Someone DM'd us, and it was, I can't remember who it was or what it was even related to, but he was pretty certain that it was going to happen. So.
Yeah, I'd sold tickets to him before for a game up north somewhere. He was Scottish, and I'd sold him tickets to, I don't know, Newcastle away or something like that, somewhere up north. And he said, "Wait, so early?" Like, at this point, we hadn't even been linked with Tierney, and he said that some relative was his financial advisor or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And he said that the contract was agreed, and this was, I think it might have even been before the Europa League final, because that year obviously we was in the Europa League final. So I think it might have even been in the May. And it was.
Yeah. So that's where I'm kind of thinking Maddison. I see a few people. I did see that one. I didn't know that bloke was off Love Island, but yeah, I did see that bloke. The other one, Awa. Now, we were linked to him last summer, and I think it was you who was telling me he didn't have a real good season last year. The season before he did.
I can't say I watched loads of the French league, but by all accounts, he didn't.
Yeah. This one where are you thinking here? Because I'm not. I don't even know if I'm convinced anymore.
No, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan anyway. And then we've had troubles with his brother/agent, which has become a bit unclear because his brother/agent was in London, pictured in or put an Instagram post up in London. So everyone jumped on it saying, "Oh, his agent's in London. Is he meeting Arsenal? Is he meeting Tottenham?" And then I'll come out and done a post and said, "That's not my brother. He's not my agent." Blah blah blah. So it's all a bit messy. I don't know. I can see the attraction when last summer they were talking 45, and this summer it seems more like 20 million. So I kind of feel like you're getting a half price, but I'm not fully. I don't know. Like he's a very good player in moments. You can watch clips of him or watch individual games, and you'll be like, "Fuck me, this guy's amazing." And then but then if you don't watch him for 3 weeks, he could do nothing. And I'm not sure if I'm sold him, but I guess for 20 million and. Like, what is he, 21? He played in the under 21s, but that means he's somewhere between 16 and 23, I guess. It's not a bad gamble to take. I can't say I'm massively sold in him, but I don't think it will happen. But at that price, I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
I'm just going to quickly discuss a couple of Ruben Neves. He was the other one. I
hope not. I really, really hope not.
Yeah. Okay. You don't like him? Not a fan?
I don't know what he brings.
I don't mind him. Look, he's and where I say I don't mind him is I think it's more because he knows the Premier League, he's played the Premier League, and he can bring you a match-winning performances. Do you see it consistently?
I don't think he does.
No,
I don't think he does that. He's quite nice on the ball, but he's 4'0", weak, poor in the air. He passes the ball nicely, but not like penetrating balls that are going to get you assists. He just keeps the ball ticking over. I really. Do you know sometimes you see you link with a player and you might go either I want them or I don't want them, but I understand, which is kind of where I am with our.
Yeah,
with him, I just don't get it at all.
Don't get it at all.
Never. It's like, what does he bring that especially for the money? Like they're talking north of 30, or even high 20s, and I'm like, for what? What are you getting for that we don't already have that we really need? I don't think he's better than Xhaka.
Look, I don't watch him. I watch him play, obviously, but I'm not like I'm watching Arsenal. So I may have it on in the background or something. From what I've seen, I've watched him a few years now, but I think he'd be all right. I don't know. I don't see too many negatives on it, you know. Like I see where you're coming from, but yeah, I think I disagree with you a little bit there. So we can have a difference of opinion, I guess.
Yeah, as I said, look, loads of people will rate him. I just don't. I said this.
Yeah.
I actually went and found the message when we were linked with him because I remember saying on here before, I think he's the most overrated player in the Premier League. And I went and found the message where I said that because I remembered saying it. Like it was last year when we played them. So it was literally just over a year ago. I just don't get it. Like I really just don't get it.
Lokonga, we spoke about him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep. That was the other one. Okay. Reports are, and straight up, yes or no, rubbish, bullshit. £250 million apparently we've got to rebuild this team. Thoughts there?
I mean, I don't know. I said we'd be spending close to 200. I don't think we'll spend 200 net. I think we're going to have a lot of sales, but I think we will spend close to 200, if not more than that. There's rumours, and they are absolute rumours, that the reason the Cronkies agreed to the documentary, which I guess we're going to speak about in a minute, is because they're going to spend and they want to be shown in a good light. That could be absolute bullshit, but they're the rumours.
Yeah, I don't know. And the other report is I'm now seeing more so from Arsenal's side, not Roma's side. It looks as though Granit is going to Roma, or I can say coming to Roma. However, I'm not convinced on the fee. I'm seeing lots for Arsenal side, £40 million now. I don't see Roma coming to that.
That's nonsense. That's absolutely nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, they're offering 12. Okay. We want 20.
I'm thinking 18. To be honest, I'm thinking Roma may go up to 18. I've spoken to a couple of blokes who, they say ITK's in Roma, and I've asked their thoughts. They're around the 18 to 20, 22 at best.
I'm guessing we're talking euros because we want 20 million. I think probably 18 will get it done because they're only basically at 12 at the moment. So if they go, look, we've come up to 18, that means they've moved the long way and we'll have to move the short way. So I think 18 would probably get it done.
As an Arsenal fan, I think I'm not happy with that. As a Roma fan, I am happy with that. So I'm fucking so split on it. Like, it's not enough. I think Granite's worth more, but 40, I'm like, that's never going to happen. 40,
no, never. I mean, it's not, because you have to kind of take away what you think of his ability as a player, whether you like him or not. He's got 2 years left. He doesn't really want to be there. He's been flirting with Roma all summer, so that impacts value. But even fully everything on our side, I'm not sure he would be 40 because our fans have made it very clear they think he's shit, and our fans are vocal, so that's the news that spreads. Of course, scouts do a bit more than that, but they will know when negotiating with the club that he's playing for a fan base that think he's terrible.
Mm-hmm. I think that's about all we had. You can talk about outings. We touched on Bellerin. Is there any others that you can think? The more I see this bobbling along, I can see Lacazette staying on. I don't see him going it. Where end of last season, I thought, well, he would be the first out the door, but I don't see that happening now.
No, it's a weird one. I mean, like, you look at today's friendly and Eddie started. I mean, that guy's got to go. He's absolute fucking garbage. Eddie started. Like, you forget fucking Willian's still there. Kolasinac is still there. And some of these are going to end up being paid up, which is fucking comical. But look, there's still a lot to happen. I know it sounds stupid, but this window is not just for us, for every club. Like, Man United, that Sancho had his medical today, so it'll probably be completed in the next couple of days, but they've not done anything apart from that. City, I don't think, have done anything. Tottenham, who need huge amounts, haven't done anything. Most clubs, Chelsea haven't made a signing yet that I can think of. Like, Liverpool have made Konate, and that's it. They need a midfielder because Wijnaldum's gone. They potentially need an attacker because theirs are all fucking up for the African Cup of Nations. So, like, this window, I would say probably only 10% of the deals that are going to happen have already happened.
Look, it's surprised me to see the young bloke, the Tavares. I was surprised to see us announcing something so early in the window. Usually
I think it was something to do with the financial year in Portugal.
Okay.
Because I watched an interview with him. Before the game today, they showed an interview with him. And they said, was it a quick process to sign for Arsenal? And he said, no, like, it took ages. And he said, when did you learn about Arsenal's interest? Like, when did you hear about it? And he said, just after their season finished in Benfica. But he said it's a very long process. And it shows that Arsenal are trying to keep their deals hidden because, people knew about it 3 or 4 days before. Well, obviously he came to quarantine, so they knew about that. But it was like we were only really linked with him 3 or 4 days before he flew over to quarantine. But Arsenal have been working on it since May, basically. So it shows they are trying to keep things a bit quieter.
Did you, and I asked this in the chat the other day, do you feel as though more news gets leaked now than it did under Wenger? Or, like, Emery, I don't remember much happening under Emery, and it wasn't long, obviously. So, but I feel as though it's not as secretive now. It seems to, like, here we are talking, Ben White's done, Lokonga, he's done, and
I think Lokonga's a bit different because he's here. I think had it not been for COVID, like quarantine and stuff, he would have been announced.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you just get some deals, and it might be the player's agent, it might be the selling club. Some deals just get leaked and some don't. As I said, Matt Ryan, no one had a clue. We just woke up one day and it was like, oh,
true.
Sign Matt Ryan. And I said, Tavares wasn't far off that. It was 3 or 4 days, but we'd been speaking to him for 2 months nearly. So, or a month, sorry. So I think it just depends on the deal, really. And I think it's always been like that. There's been some Arsenal deals, like, I know I'm going way back. Nasri, everyone knew about for fucking ages. And it was like, oh, just hurry up and do it. Same as Peter Cech. Everyone knew for ages.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah.
Like, and then there was others that, I mean, the most famous one, obviously, is you turn the TV on and it said we'd signed Sol Campbell, and there was not a fucking clue. Like, so I think it just really depends on the transfer and the clubs involved and the agents and whatnot. I don't think there's any clubs are secure and others aren't. I just think it depends on who they're dealing with. Like the Sancho deal, everyone knew about for ages, but then there's probably been deals that Man United just kind of went, done. Like, we signed this guy, Diallo, maybe. And I know he was a youngster, but it was still 40 million. And then that was just on the day. It was on deadline day. It was like, oh, we've just signed this guy for 40 million. It was out of nowhere. Like,
because look, and I look back and I think of Tierney, you know, because we got told that information back way before even we knew who Tierney was. Look, and that was deadline day.
That was Emery Reign. But that was Emery, again, that wasn't anything that leaked from either club though. So them things are always going to happen. You just got to rely on someone in the close circle not fucking leaking it. And look,
I wonder though, how come a player? Why wouldn't you want a club to get a player early though to bet him in before the season and stuff?
You'd assume so, but then the selling clubs probably know that as well. But also, let's be honest about the Tierney stuff. It could have been bullshit. The guy could have just been throwing a guess out there. Because it happened, we go, oh, he was rock solid.
Yeah, he was right.
Look, I've met the geezer once. I met him outside a football ground, gave him a ticket and spoke to him for 5 minutes and seemed all right. And now it's like, oh, he gave us that information. But he could have been absolutely pulling our leg and gone, oh shit, actually came true.
Yeah, he could have been winding us up. He did right. I said to you, we're going to have a discussion, patrons. Yes, we haven't forgot about you. I'm going to get some content out there later. I want to have a little yarn about some ITK stuff. AFC Bell really surprised me. Yeah, no disrespect to the guy. He's come out and
you hate it.
I can't stand. I can't stand a cunt who tweets, and I don't want to be racist here, but tweeting fucking English. I can't read it.
But he might not speak English.
Well, fucking he can translate the shit. Why do I got to translate every fucking tweet?
You just have to press one button.
Fuck that. That's too much. I just want to fucking pick up the phone, scroll through. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to fucking translate. And then I think to myself, is the translation right? Because it don't make sense. I can't stand it. I hate it. And don't hate him. Hate his fucking methods. But he disappeared and now he's come back. So someone must have paid him or something. He must be making a few bucks.
I respect that because I've always said, like, because I've known about deals before that no one else did. But I don't believe you can know about every deal. So I would rather someone that comes and goes than someone who's trying to announce every transfer.
He's more on the Maddison thing. Is that what the translation is?
Well, so yeah, he said that we'd spoke to Maddison's agent and told that we'd spoke to Leicester, but we hadn't put an official bid in. We'd spoke to Maddison's agent and told him basically what we'd be willing to offer, and they were happy with it.
So he knows something about Maddison now, do you think?
Well, it seems like so. I was reading a thread before, and someone had basically done some digging to basically try and figure out who it was behind the account. And if this thread was right, it was an agent from that part of the world. And obviously agents talk. So it seems like it might be someone from his agency or Maddison's agent and him are linked somehow, or mates or whatever. But yeah, look, I'm not saying.
So some geezer in what part of the world?
Well, it's Middle East, isn't it? The language, it's Arabic.
Some fucking agent geezer who I just can't get it. I reckon it's some geezer in some mud brick fucking house in the middle of no man's land in the desert somewhere and just picked up a fucking 1 bar of mobile service and he's pulling all our fucking legs. He's taking a piss this way. I don't get it. I
mean, look, there's no two ways about it. He knew about Partey well before anyone else. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, I have to give him that. I do have to give him that.
And there's been a couple of other things where he's not been as like sure, but he said stuff and then it has happened.
There was an Arsenal press conference he picked up on too, didn't he?
Yeah. So as I said, the reports are basically saying he's like, when I say top agent, I don't mean Raiola or Mendes, but kind of the next tier below that. And that's kind of what I worked with. I wasn't the agent. I worked for the agent that was in that tier. And like, yeah, they speak. So that's kind of where I think he is, what I think he is. And yeah, you use an anonymous account to do things. The thing, look, Ornstein's mentioned him a few times, so Ornstein knows who he is.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Actually, I did remember that, Ornstein, yeah. Oh, where's he working now? Is he just working for that athletic fucking joint? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We want to talk about this. Amazon to film behind the scenes of Arsenal documentary.
Oh God.
I can't wait. I'm fucking can't wait.
I don't know. It'll be a decent watch. I wish they weren't doing it, but it will be a good watch. Like, look, we all want to see what goes on behind the scenes at Arsenal. We're Arsenal fans and we're all nosy. That's why we talk about transfers and we talk about this sort of stuff. We're all nosy. And I'm the worst for it. Yeah, and I'm the worst for it. So in that sense, but like, no one ever comes out of these things looking good. And is it what we need when we're coming off the back of our...
I reckon Mourinho did in the last one.
I don't.
You don't reckon he did?
No.
It was all about him.
So yeah, but
when he
does.
Yeah, he made it about
him.
But
I mean, and even like, but just if Mourinho comes out, the club fucking didn't, and that's what I care about. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
If Arsenal come out looking bad, but Arteta looks great, that doesn't please me. Like, for 10 million, which is the reported fee, I just don't get it. There's got to be easier ways. Look, as I said, I was talking to someone about this the other day. 10 million for me and you is a lot for a club like Arsenal. Yeah. There's got to be a better way of just go on a pre-season tour to fucking China or something. They'll pay you 10 million.
Yeah, but does it make you give you more exposure? Like, I'm trying to think. I hate comparing this, but Football Manager or FIFA, and it's all about world exposure. You're like, I
don't think it does, because there ain't a football fan on earth that isn't aware of Arsenal. And if you're not a football fan, you're not going to watch the documentary anyway.
Yeah.
Like, look, do you know when it was like?
Well, I don't know, because I watched the NFL one and I had known nothing about NFL.
Yeah, but I think you're weird. Like,
no, I was bored.
Yeah, like, no. So do you know the best one? I think the best one I've seen of them, and it wasn't the Amazon one; it was a Netflix one. Was a Sunderland one, and that's fantastic.
Oh, that was really good. Yeah,
and you'd probably, or you might have done, but the average person, as a football fan, wouldn't have heard of them because they're a small club. So that is getting exposure for Sunderland. But
yeah, no, that was good. That one. Yeah,
you're not going to get Italians, for example, just as the first country that comes to my head, watching it, going, "Oh, I've never heard of this Arsenal. Who are they? Let's see behind the scenes there." Like, I don't really think
well, I'm watching the Crystal Palace one now. I think it's on Amazon. It's not All or Nothing. Yeah, and it's not All or Nothing. It's something else. But
When Eagles Soar, I think it's called.
I'm finding it a little bit boring, and the only reason is because what I've realised is they didn't go behind the scenes. There was behind the scenes when the new owners took over, and his name fucks me now, but so
Steve Parish.
Yeah. So when they took over and things like that, it's about that footage. So it's old footage. They're piecing it together, but they're just interviewing him basically, and a few others who are in it, and it's good, but it's boring because I'm not actually seeing that footage of now. Like, that's what I liked about the All or Nothings. You got to go in the back of the change room and things like that, where now they're just piecing together old footage of old games and things like that, where it's a little bit.
Look, there's a lot about All or Nothing that I like. As I said, it fits the nosy nature. But
that's right.
I just don't think it's a good idea. Like, I think there's better ways to earn 10 million.
I actually, funny enough, I didn't know Crystal Palace were that bad financially.
Yeah, so their old owner was a guy called Simon Jordan, who's always on TalkSport. He's the most outspoken man on earth, and he's one of them. Whatever he says is right, and if you question it, you're an idiot and you must be wrong. And everyone always comes back with, "You bankrupted yourself nearly and a football club. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I never knew that. I was like, wow, like that's a good story in its own. Like, so I get why they did it, but
it's an interesting story. But Simon Jordan is an utter cunt.
Yeah, okay. No, it's worth a watch. So it's on Amazon. Yeah, when Eagles Soar, is that what's called? Yeah,
I think so. I've not seen it.
Yeah. No, it's worth a watch, but like I said, it's a lot of interviewing and a lot of talking to the, like they got no footage of behind the scenes because they probably didn't know they were going to do this. So, anyway, I don't mind it. I like it. However, anything Arsenal, I listened to Wenger's book, and that was a bit of a fucking bore of a listen, to be honest. So, but we'll watch this documentary. Anything else you want to discuss before we go?
No, well, just quickly, when we were talking about Barcelona players, Sam Nichols said, what about Dest? We touched on it last week when we were talking about this. I've not seen enough of him, to be honest. I actually said on the podcast, can any Americans kind of fill me in about him? And a few messaged and said maybe he's not quite ready, but he could be. But I don't know if Barcelona would be up for letting him go. As I said, they've got untouchables. I don't know if he's one of them. Because of his age profile. We've also got Emerson Royal as well, who they loaned out, who's a right back who had a really good season at Betis, I think it was. So maybe Dest is available, but I purely don't know enough to say that's something we should go and do or not do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Is there anyone out there who you would think, fuck, I want to go and get him? Like, I remember a few seasons ago, you were really big on Mahrez, and you liked Mahrez, but he went to City. Zaha has been linked to us before. That I don't even know if it's even. I don't even think his name's been mentioned now. But is there anyone that you can think of? Well, like I'd like to get him. We'll get him cheaper now. This and that, I'll put you on the spot, really.
No, I don't even think there's anyone because look, I think for the last 2 years I've always said Grealish, but that's gone.
Is he going to City?
It's funny, you know what? As I said, I got to Wembley really early the other day, and you just kind of start talking to people because obviously we're all football fans, so we're all into it. And I mentioned obviously I go to every Arsenal game, and the guy I was talking to, really nice guy, was a Villa fan. We're speaking for quite a while about how things are at Arsenal, how things are at Villa. And I said that it seems like Grealish is off. What do you think? And he was saying that he's very confident that Grealish is going to sign a new contract on over 200 grand a week, but with a clause that he can go next year if they don't get Europe. So he was saying that's like how Villa fans think of it. But yeah, so from my point of view, I would probably say I think he goes. But then the one thing that is true is City desperately need a striker. They've only got Jesus because obviously Aguero's gone.
Yeah, and Haaland's now gone.
He's not gone.
No, he's not gone, but yeah,
it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So it's can they afford to go and get a top drawer striker and spend probably 100 million on Grealish? And probably not. Can they afford to? Of course they can afford to.
Afford it, yeah.
Yeah, but are they likely to do that? And I think no's the answer, to be honest. So it's difficult.
Well, apart from Haaland, who do they go? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my brain. Griezmann, Haaland. I can't think of. Is there others that I'm missing?
I know they've ruled it out, but Griezmann would really suit Man City. Like stylistically, he would really suit them. As again, his wages are an absolute killer. Who else? Lukaku probably doesn't fit them.
No, well, he's tied up there now.
No, I think Lukaku's available. I just don't think he suits City. The Inter have got financial troubles. I think if someone came in with the right money, he would go.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Again,
True.
personal opinion. It's not.
No. Yeah. I was just more thinking that's the one player that you can't let go because that's completely going to fuck that team.
Yeah, but then the one player you can't get low is can't let go is always the one that brings money in.
Yeah.
And if you need money, I'm not saying he will go, but I think he'd be available if the right team wanted him for the right price.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know where City go with it, to be honest. Grealish probably stays. But yeah, back to the original question: is there anyone that I think Arsenal must go and get them? No, not really.
From and I'm just talking now in general. Like I was just thinking when we were talking about Grealish, I think that was a massive fuck up from Southgate to not actually start Grealish. Was you England fans? Were you thinking the same thing at the time?
At the start of the tournament, 100%, but the results went the way they did, and it got to the point where basically people stopped questioning Southgate because everything he'd done worked.
Yeah.
Look, the problem is we are very defensive, and we shouldn't be as defensive as we are, but it worked again, so you can't really question it.
So you can't
Grealish is quite poor defensively. No, that's not what you got him on the pitch for, obviously, but he's not very good defensively, and it would have been difficult where to fit him in that team. Even in the Denmark game when he came on, and that was obviously the first game I'd been at of the tournament, you could see we clearly got worse defensively when he came on. So obviously he came on, Saka went off, Grealish came on, and then Sterling and Grealish swapped sides, and we instantly became much worse defensively. We came better attacking wise, but you could see that it wasn't like a little difference. You could see it straight away. So I can understand Southgate not starting him. A few things that did surprise me about England, and I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
Calvin Phillips is fucking sensational. I did not know Calvin Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
Leeds fans bang on about him all the time. And you know they kind of think, oh, he's your one player, so you're going over the top about him. The whole time during the Denmark game, I was thinking, fuck me, how is this guy only at Leeds? He was unbelievable.
he was good, yeah. He had a good
but it was one of them, like, he didn't... Do you know if someone said to me, what did he do well? And there wasn't really an answer. Like, he just done well. And
yeah, consistent.
I still haven't I haven't checked to see if it was because of injury or whatnot, or tiredness. But Declan Rice in the final was absolutely insane. He was so good, it was unbelievable. When he got subbed, everyone was like, what?
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought, why? Yeah. Actually, I agree totally with that.
I never say anything about a performance during a game because you say it and the opposite happens. So like the whole time in the Denmark game, obviously I was with my mate. I was thinking like Calvin Phillips amazing, but I won't say anything till the final whistle. And during, I think it was at like half time or just after half time, my mate turned to me and went, Rice has been fucking unbelievable today. And I was like, shut up. I'll add my opinion at the final whistle. Like he was unreal. Like,
he was very good. Yeah.
Which is annoying because I think he's good, but West Ham fans go over the top. But that performance was insane.
That other bloke was good too. Fucking names, fuck me. Left back.
Sure,
yeah. I thought he had a really good tournament.
He had a good tournament. Sterling had a joke of a tournament. Sterling was insane. I think he was unlucky not to play the tournament. Walker had a good tournament. Me and Shrim were talking about this yesterday, I think it was. Walker, the problem with Walker, especially when you're at games, he makes so many mistakes off the ball that you're always worried. Like, you're scared every time the other team have the ball, but he recovers. So then you kind of go, oh, he's great. Look at that recovery. Or do you go, what the fuck's he doing? He's out of position, or he's done this wrong or that wrong. I said to my mate after the semi, I was like, Walker played really well, but I couldn't fucking watch him every week. Cunt gives you a heart attack every 3 seconds.
He is like that. Yeah, and the only reason I asked about Grealish is because I watched the Argentina-Brazil game the day before, and then I also watched Argentina in the semis. And Di Maria came on in the semis, and mate, he was fucking wow. Like I was like,
that was all the commentator in the final over here kept banging on about. Di Maria came in and changed the semi. Like that was all he kept. It was basically 45 minutes of him saying that.
Yeah, well, mate, it was honest though. It was like, wow, like, and then he started, and I went, okay, you've made a fucking great decision. And I said to the guys, you know, they're asking me advice and saying, what do you think? And I said, Di Maria's starting. I'm all on Argentina. I think now they have the better team. If Di Maria wasn't starting, then it would be, I couldn't split them. But, you know, he scored the goal. I think he got injured in the final. Oh, no, he went down.
He went down in the first half, but got up and carried on. But I don't know what happened after.
Yeah, he got up and carried on. But he was fucking brilliant. And I thought, well, that was... I'm not saying that's the reason why Argentina won, but for me, that was the difference of the Argentina team. And I wondered whether Grealish would have done that. A question you'll never know. But
no, I mean, I think, and this is even from an Arsenal point of view, I think we should have gone 4-2-3-1 and Saka should have started. That would have been like which we'd played in the 2 games before that against Denmark and against Ukraine and against Germany. Well, no, not against Germany. Sorry,
Germany was 4-3-3, wasn't it?
No, it was 5. It was a back 5. But yeah, so I think we should have stuck with the same team, which obviously still would have meant Grealish on the bench. But especially they had Emerson at left back, and I wanted someone one-on-one facing up to him. And look, we got better in the game when we went to a 4 as well. I think Southgate got that wrong, as I said at the start of the show. But how can you question it when the first goal goes from wing back to wing back?
Yeah.
So if we go for a back 4, the goal doesn't happen. So even though I think Southgate was wrong, you can't really question it.
Harry Kane, for me, that's a name. Obviously, I didn't even link the City. I didn't even think of it. But Harry Kane, disappointing. I have to say, he was. I don't know what's going on there. His headspace just did not seem right, and not just that game, the whole tournament.
I agree with you, but again, the media. I don't know if I've forgotten how to watch football or something because I come out of the game and I listened to the radio and they said, "Oh, it's a really 50-50 game. Could have gone either way." And they thought Harry Kane played really well, and I was like, did he?
Yeah, I've seen a few people saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, look. When he's wearing an England shirt, I want them all to play well, and I'm not against Kane. I think. Look, we played a lot of aimless long balls up to him, and he didn't win many. He won a couple. He didn't win many, but he's against 2 world class centre backs, so you can't really criticise him for him. I wouldn't say he played badly. I just didn't think he was in the game.
No, look, I honestly thought Calvin Lewin would come on at some point because I thought, especially when they levelled. I think it's about the 60th minute.
There's no way you take Kane off as long as.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
You can't.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I do know, but I know. Yeah, and look, it's easy to say this after the fact too, because now we know the result. But yeah, it's yeah. Alrighty. Give you a bit extra there because I was just asking some. I just want to know. I'm just nosy. Right, thank you for listening and thank you for downloading. Patrons, thank you, you guys. I know a bloke who's going to get a couple of little things in the mail soon. Clay, shout out to you, bud. Big supporter of the show. Oh, he got the bag, did he? So yeah. I've got to design some more material too. So I'll
What's the point? I never fucking get anything.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see. You can't even see it, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I've got a coffee cup. I'm going to put cunt on it if they let me through that. But yeah, so I have to design some more. Actually, me and you, we need to get some of this merch. How do we get
I've not had anything. This is nonsense.
No, fucking me either. I designed the shit and don't even get anything for it. So yeah, you patrons, you can download, well, I don't know, you find the link somewhere, I'll put it out. And if you want to be a patron and support the show, that would be great because everything we do here is from the money we get from you. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody. And we may be back next week. I don't know. Well, be honest, we'll probably have a little break for 2 weeks.
Well, just see what happens because you say you take a break for 2 weeks and we sign 10 players and sack the manager and
yeah. So look, we'll play it by ear. keep an eye out, subscribe to us on YouTube, and do all that stuff. So, yeah, thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.